Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bianca Della Garza, and you have to check out Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthscast podcast. I was a guest. He has the best guests always. Check him out.
But I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Time ago, that was Donald Trump asking that question. His first rally of the day was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and now he is off to Michigan and ending the night. Actually ending the night in Michigan, but making some stops in Pennsylvania. Let's bring in our panel, host of America Right Now, Tom Basile, also GOP political strategist, and insider Gene Valentino. He's also the host of the Grassroots Truthcast podcast. Hey guys, good to see you both.
Hey Bianca.
You.
All right, Donald Trump on the road today, making economy a focus. What do you make, Tom? I know you did some digging on this. This Des Moines Register poll. Many say that it was just oversampling of Democrats, an outlier here, but of course the legacy media jumped all over it.
Oh, absolutely. And look, you have to be very careful about polling data late in the cycle like this that may have some fuzzy math when it comes to the sample, because it is a voter manipulation tactic. It could be a voter suppression tactic when you see something like that. My sources did indicate that in two of the congressional districts that Democrats were wildly oversampled. And it also sort of discounts an increase of nearly 6% in terms of early voting among Republicans, and decreases that they've seen so far in Democrats in the state of Iowa. The folks that I talked to in Iowa seem to believe that this is very much an outlier. But of course, as you mentioned, Bianca, the left-wing media was all over it yesterday.
Yeah, and we're hearing from independent pollster Robert Cahaley, who's saying some people, when they're asking about Trump, they're like, well, what are you doing with this information? They're worried about the pollsters are giving it to the government. So there's sort of this silent vote, if you will, Gene, that people may be voting for Trump but aren't telling the pollsters, and that's an issue here in addition to the oversampling. So you got to get out and vote if you haven't already, but people sort of reading the polls maybe have to be very careful, Gene.
Yeah, well, this is historic, at least 48 hours from now. This goes into the history books as something on several levels for us to take note of. Tom's point a minute ago on the nature of polling in general drives to something we've chatted about, and that has to do with the underwriting criteria associated with polling. Is the poll being manufactured for the purpose of the candidate out of the candidate's checkbook, or is it truly an independent poll that samples with some sense of parity and balance Democrats and Republicans? And to your point a second ago, how many of these Democrats are voting for Trump and are totally silent?
Yeah, well, here is John Fetterman talking about how Donald Trump connects with voters in Pennsylvania, obviously a state both candidates want to win, and Kamala might need to win.
I've said the same thing in 2016. I've said that it's going to be really close. I mean, there's an issue there. And I said that it's going to be very close in 2020. And of course it was. And I've been saying this, whether it was Biden or then became Harris, I said it's going to be very close. And Trump definitely has a connection with voters here in Pennsylvania. And that's why it's going to be close.
Can Harris overcome that with the time left, Tom?
One of the things that we're going to be watching for as we're ingesting all of the information tomorrow evening here at Newsmax, is what is the turnout for Harris, particularly in the urban areas, which should be Democrat strongholds. And if those numbers are off, even by a few percentage points, it could be a very, very rough night for her. So that's one of the things we're going to be looking at. In a state like Pennsylvania, we're going to be looking at, inner city Philadelphia, inner city Pittsburgh, to see whether or not the enthusiasm gap that we all discuss between these two candidates, whether or not that manifests itself. And again, it could be a rough night for Kamala Harris. And remember something, the polls were wrong in 2016, and Trump overperformed. They were wrong in 2020, and Trump overperformed. They were also wrong in 2022, and Democrats overperformed. So, relying too much on these numbers is very dangerous. People just need to get out and vote.
And those are the numbers we've been tracking, which is early voting, and that is hard data. Guys, great to see you. Gene, Tom, we'll be talking real soon. And of course, Tom will be part of our election night coverage starting tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thanks, guys.